Over and over again, scholars comment on Crespi's sense of humor. Somebody who liked a good joke, whose approach was whimsical, and you can see that in these paintings. Putti frolicking with lambs and putti frolicking with birds. They were probably painted to be hung together, and putti is from the Sanskrit for young boy, baby boy. These children are having a great deal of fun. You aren't quite as sure that the animals are having the same amount of fun, but they are all over the place. As we look at these children, these little putti, when we see something like the little one who's about to stick his friend, he's getting at him, he's doing something that again was considered boy behavior. Then you have the putti who is climbing on the sheep. I think we can all relate, children trying to climb on dogs, and the dogs usually aren't happy about it, but it's an instinct. It's just kids. They see something they can ride and they want to. And in the other painting, you see these putti frolicking with birds. It looks like one of these putti is taking them out and handing them to his friends to play with. Again, this is something that we would be maybe a little queasy about because children often damage little birds. But this was part of children being children and children being slightly on the edge of being cruel. There's a sense of innocence, even as there's also this undercurrent of perhaps not so pleasant mischief. The sense of humor is a bit rough. There's a great deal of what today we would call slapstick. Cruelty was considered funny. It's an odd combination, but it's very 18th century. Crespi was himself a rather naughty boy. In fact, he was kicked out of one of his art schools for making a satirical picture of one of the patrons of the school. And so he, like the putti that he drew, he knew a good bit about being a mischievous little boy. You see again, one of the putti, the one in the center, is holding a rod. And it's hard to know exactly what that was for. Maybe it was a switch. Maybe it acted as a sword, a play sword. And so these are not so much your idealized angelic putti. They're idealized in the sense that they're quite beautiful, but their behavior suggests cupids rather than angels. The odd thing about putti as cupids is that you really don't find those in the classical world. Cupid was a